Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about, I think. You'd best go down and deny it yourself. The parlor's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and my niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest?
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it, and I'll be whipped if I must be. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you've not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle, and we leapt out the bush so suddenly Betty was frightened, and then she fainted. And there's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look you, child, your punishment will come in its time. But if you trafficked with spirits in the forest, I must know it now. For surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why can she not move herself since midnight? The child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Let me know what you've done here. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I have heard it, Uncle.
There's a faction that is sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now then, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
It were sport, sir.
You call this sport? Abigail, if you know something that may help the doctor, for God's sake, tell it to me. I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I heard a screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth. She was swaying like a dumb beast over that fire.
She always sings her Barbados songs, and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress lying on the grass.
A dress?
A dress. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it! Now tell me true, Abigail, and I pray you feel the weight of truth upon you. For now my ministry is at stake, my ministry, and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you have done, give me all of it now, for I dare not be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I have sought here 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me, and now, just now, when some good respect is rising for me in the parish, you compromise my very character. I have given you a home, child. I have put clothes upon your back. Now give me upright answer. Your name in this town. It is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I am sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there any other cause than you have told me for your being discharged from Goody Proctor's service? I have heard it said, and I tell you as I heard it, that she comes so rarely to the church this year, for she will not sit so close to something soiled. What signified that remark?
She hates me, Uncle. She must, for I would not be her slave. It's a bitter woman, a lying, cold, sniveling woman, and I will not work for such a woman.
She may be, And yet, it has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their house. And in all this time, no other family has ever called for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them. Do begrudge my bed, uncle?
No, no.
My name is good in the village. I will not have it said my name is soiled. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar.
No, no, I cannot have anyone. Why? Goody Putnam, come in.
It's a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam, it is...
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, it's sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn and come down light as a bird, he says.
Now, look you, Goody Putnam, she never... Oh, good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is providence.
What's out, sir? What's...
Look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange.
Your Ruth is sick?
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into them, forked and hooved.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does Ruth ail?
She ails as she must. She never walked this morning, but her eyes open and she walks, and hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you've sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly?
A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic arts, and I...
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year, and let you remember that.
Now, Goody Anne, they only thought that were a witch, and I'm certain there be no element of witchcraft here.
No witchcraft. Now look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft. I know that you least of all, Thomas, would ever wish so disastrous a charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such corruption in my house.
Mr. Paris, I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children.
But, Thomas, you cannot.
Anne, tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in this earth. Believe me, sir, you never saw more hardy babies born. And yet, each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. I have spoke nothing but my heart has clamored in intimidations. And now, this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child has become this year, and shrivels like a suckling mouth were pulling on her life too. And so I thought to send her to your Tituba.
To Tituba? What made Tituba...
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Anne, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul, but who else may tell us surely what person murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris. And mark this proof. Mark it. Last night my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now, except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits last night.
Not I, sir. Tituba and Ruth.
Oh, Abigail, what proper payment for my charity? Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house, Thomas. They will topple me with this. They will make of it a...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty I.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there's a sign of life.
I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like it will shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down and...
No. I have no answer for that crowd. I'll wait till Mr. Hale arrives. If you will, Goody Ann.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Come down. Speak to them. Pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I'll lead them in a psalm, but let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I have had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth. Do you hear?
Aye, Mum.
If she starts for the window, cry for me at once.
I will, Uncle.
There is a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick? Mercy, it's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night. Betty? Now stop this. Betty, sit up now.
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and it waked her for a minute. Here, let me have her.
No, he'll be coming up. Listen now. If they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told him as much already.
Aye, and what more?
He knows Tituba conjured Ruth's sisters to come out of the grave.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh, Jesus! What do we do? The village is out. I just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They be calling us witches, Abby. She means to tell. I know it. Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error, and hanging like they've done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and other things.
Oh, we'll be whipped.
I never done of it, Abby. I only looked. Oh, you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren? What a grand peeping courage you have.
Betty? Now, Betty dear, wake up now. It's Abigail. I'll beat you, Betty. My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa, and I told him everything. So there's nothing to...
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mom is dead and buried.
I'll fly to mama. Let me fly.
I told him everything. He knows now. He knows everything we...
You drank blood, Abby. You didn't tell him that.
Betty, you never say that again.
You did.
You will never...
You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor.
Shush it. Now shut it.
Mama.
Now look you, all of you, we danced, and Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters, and that is all. And mark this, let either of you breathe a word, or the edge of a word about the other things, and I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillows next to mine, and I have seen some reddish work done at night, and I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Now, you, sit up and stop this.
What's got her? Abby, she's going to die. It's a sin to conjure, and we...
I say shut it, Mary Warren.
Oh, I'm just going home, Mr. Proctor.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? What shall I pay you? I am looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing on that arse of yours one day. Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd be best off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
God, I almost forgot how strong you are, John Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
Oh, she's only gone silly somehow.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leapt in on us. She took fright is all.
Ah, you're wicked yet, aren't you? You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby. That's done with.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly. I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John, I am waiting for you every night.
Abby, I never give you hope to wait for me.
I have something better than hope, I think.
Abby, you'll put it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. Or did I dream that? If she put me out, you cannot pretend it were you. I saw your face when she put me out, and you loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things, but not so wild, I think. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7-month.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window, and I have seen you looking up, burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
I may have looked up.
And you must. You are no wintry man. I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake and walk about the house as though I'd find you coming through some door.
Child.
How dare you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I'll ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind, Abby. We never touched, Abby.
Aye, but we did.
Aye, but we did not.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife be.
You'll speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackmailing my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. Let her turn you like a...
Do you look for a weapon?
I look for John Proctor that took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew why the lying lessons I was taught by all these Christian women and their coveted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes? I will not, I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me. Betty?
What's she doing? Girl, what ails you? Stop that wailing.
What happened? What are you doing to her? Betty! Betty! Betty!
She heard you singing, and suddenly she's up and screaming.
No!
The psalm, she cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
No, God forbid. Mercy, run to the doctor. Tell him what's happened here.
Mark it for a sign. Mark it.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot. Goody nurse, a prodigious sign.
My mother told me that, but they cannot hear to bear the name of...
Rebecca, go to her. We're lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's...
There's hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please, to keep the quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I hear she flies.
Man, be quiet now.
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No, she walked into the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she come to visit.
Oh, that's a good sign walking in.
Pray God, it hurt my heart to strip her, poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender?
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon. It's warm as blood beneath the clods.
That's well.
If the prop is good, I'll buy George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye.
This farm's a continent when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
You ought to bring some flowers in the house.
Oh, I forgot. I will tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. On Sunday let you come with me and we'll walk the farm together. I never seen such a load of flowers on the earth. Lilacs have a purple smell. Lilac is the smell of nightfall, I think. Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again, are you?
You come so late, I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week. Proctor, I thought better of it since. Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her to go to Salem any more.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault. It is a fault. Elizabeth, you're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
How may that mouse frighten you, Elizabeth? You...
It is a mouse no more. I forbid her go, and she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and lays to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye, it is a proper court they have now. They've sent 4 judges out of Boston, she says, waiting magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I would to God she were. There be 14 people in the jail now, she says. And they'd be tried, and the court have power to hang them too, she says.
They'd never hang.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. She speaks of Abigail, and I thought she were a saint to hear her. Abigail brings the other girls into the court, where she walks the crowd with part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them, and if they scream and howl and fall to the floor, the person's clapped in the jail for bewitching them.
Oh, it is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it's a fraud.
Aye, it is, surely.
Let you go to Cheever. He knows you well. And tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it not to do with witchcraft. Did she not?
Aye, she did. Now.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good. Then let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl's a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud, and the town gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof of it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment, I.
Why, then it is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion any more.
I have no...
I'll not have it!
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look you!
I see what I see, John.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you go to judge your husband any more. I have forgot Abigail, and...
And I...
Spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe in this house all 7 months since she is gone. I have not moved from there to there without I think to please you, and still an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted, every moment judged for lies, as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
John, you are not open with me. You saw her with a crowd, you said. Now you...
I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am only...
No more. I should have roared you down when you first told me your suspicion, but I wilted, and, like a Christian, I confessed. Confessed! Some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day. But you're not. You are not. And let you remember it. Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I am sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I am in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what of these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house, as you are paid £9 a year to do, and my wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair and pass the time with sewing.
Why, thank you. It's so fair, Poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. There be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her. He must. But not Sarah Good, for Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confess to what?
That she sometimes make a compact with Lucifer, and wrote her name in his black book with her blood, and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down, and we must all worship hell forevermore.
But surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court she near to choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spear out.
Oh, Mary, surely you...
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Why, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleep in ditches, and so very old and poor. But then she sit there denying and denying, and I feel misty coldness climbing up my back, and then the skin on my skull begins to creep, and I feel a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice, and all at once I remembered everything she'd done to me.
Why? What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she come to this very door, begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, whenever I turned her away, she mumbled.
Mumbled? She may mumble if she's hungry.
But what does she mumble, you must remember, Goody Proctor? Last month on Monday, I think she walked away, and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I do, I think, but...
And so I told you that Judge Hathorne, and he says so. Sarah Good, says he, what curse do you mumble that this girl must fall sick after turning you away? And then she replies, Why, your excellence, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Hathorne say, Recite for us your commandments. And all of the 10 she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, they must when she commend herself.
But the proof, the proof.
I told you the proof. It's hard proof. Hard as a rock, the judge said.
You will not go to court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I will be gone every day now. I am amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But, Mr. Proctor, they will not hang them they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail some time. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her, and she's full to the brain, and smoking a pipe all these years, and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they'll not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel. You must see it, sir. It's a God's work we do. So I'll be gone every day for some time. I'm an official of the court, they say, and
I'll official you.
I'll not stand whipping any more.
Mary, promise now you'll stay at home.
The devil's loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor. We must discover where he's hiding.
I'll whip the devil out of you.
I saved her life today.
I am accused?
Someone mentioned, but I said I never see no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing I do live in closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law. I cannot tell. I open you will not be so sarcastical no more. 4 judges and the king's deputy say to dinner with us but an hour ago. I would have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night.
Oh, the noose is up.
There'll be no noose.
She wants me dead. I knew all week it would come to this.
They dismissed it. You heard her say.
And what of tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me.
Sit you down.
She wants me dead, John. You know it.
I say sit down. Now we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said it were all sport.
John, with so many in the jail, more than Cheever's help is needed now, I think. Would you favor me with this? Go to Abigail.
Now, Martha Corey, there is an abundant evidence in our hands to show that you have given yourself to the reading of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch is.
How do you know, then, that you are not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them. I scorn it.
I have evidence for the court.
You will be kept your seat.
Thomas Putnam is reaching out for land.
Remove that man, Marshal.
You're hearing lies. Lies.
Arrest him, Excellency.
I have evidence. Why will you not hear my evidence? Hands off, damn you. Let me go.
Giles. Giles.
Out of my way, Eric. I bring evidence.
You cannot go in there, Giles. It's a court.
Pray be calm for a moment.
You, Mr. Hale, go in there and demand I speak.
A moment, sir, a moment.
They'll be hanging my wife.
How do you dare come roaring into this court? Are you gone daft, Corey?
You're not a Boston judge yet, Hethorn. You'll not call me daft.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, sir, and a more contentious...
I am asked the question, and I am old enough to answer it. My name is Corey, sir. Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and timber in addition. It is my wife you be condemning now.
How'd you imagine to help her cause with such contentious riot? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They be telling lies about my wife, sir.
Do you take it upon yourself to determine this court shall believe and what it shall set aside?
Your Excellency, we mean no disrespect for...
Disrespect indeed. It is a disruption, mister. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
Your Excellency, I only said she were reading books, sir. And they come and take her out of my house for...
Books? What books?
It is my third wife, sir. I never had no wife that be so taken with books. And I thought to find the cause of it, you see. But it were no witch I blamed her for. I have broke charity with the woman. I have broke charity with her.
I think that in all justice, you must. Let him submit his evidence in proper affidavit. You are certainly aware of your procedure here, Mr. Hale. Clear this room.
Come now, Giles. We are desperate, sir. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard.
Who is this man?
Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife, Rebecca, that were condemned this morning. Indeed, I am amazed to find you in such uproar. I have only good report of your character, Mr. Nurse.
I think they must both be arrested in contempt, sir.
Let you write your plea, and in due time I will.
Excellency, we have proof for your eyes. God forbid you shut them to it.
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? I come of my own, Goody Proctor. I would save your husband's life, for if he is taken, I count myself high murderer. You understand me?
What do you want of me?
Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 month like our Lord into the wilderness. I have sought a Christian way, for damnation's doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie. You cannot speak of lies.
It is a lie. They are innocent. I'll hear no more of that. Let you not mistake your duty, so I mistook my own. I came into this village like a bridegroom to his beloved, bearing gifts of high religion. The very crowns of holy law I brought, and what touched with my bright confidence. It died, and where I turned the eye of my great faith, blood flowed up. Beware, goody proctor. Cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that leads you to sacrifice. Life, woman, life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. I beg you, woman, prevail upon your husband to confess. Let him give his lie. Quail not before God's judgment in this, for it may well be damned. Damn's a good liar, less than he what throws his life away for pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that beats the devil's argument.
Woman, before the laws of God, we are a swine. We cannot read his will.
I cannot dispute with you, sir. I lack learning for it.
Goody proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. There be no wifely tenderness within you. He will die with the sunrise, your husband. Do you understand it? What say you? Will you contend with him? Are you stone? I tell you true, woman, had I no other proof of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now would be sufficient evidence that you delivered your soul to hell. A very ape would weep at such calamity. Have the devil dried up any tear of pity in you? Take her out. If profit nothing, she should speak to him.
Let me speak with him, Excellency.
You'll strive with him?
All right. Well, yay! Great job, everybody. Woo! We did it. We did a Zoom show. So now this is would be a talk back. So ticket holders, you have submitted questions. So I'm going to read those questions now, and then the cast will answer. So this question comes from Mrs. Peabody. Did you research the accuracy of the play to get inspiration for how to play your parts? So if anybody wants to do that.
Vaguely, because I like reading about history a lot, so I went down a little bit of a Wikipedia hole about the Salem witch trials, but I didn't I could have used a lot more reliable sources than I did.
Gotcha. Next question from Mrs. DiVincenzo. What is your favorite scene from the Crucible?
Kirsten and Caden scene at the beginning. I really like that one.
Oh, yes. There's so much tension. It's like, do you not wait for me? And it's like, no. It reminds me of Kate and Hotspur, where it's like, do you not love me? And it's like, no. And it's like, oh gosh. So much tension. Anybody else have a favorite scene?
I think the courtroom scene is pretty good with everyone yelling at each other.
Mm-hmm. I also like it too when Proctor can't remember adultery as a sin, and then Elizabeth just slyly is like, adultery, and there's theories on it where she's throwing shade, or she's actually genuinely helping her husband. So there's two theories there of even though she knows that he's had this affair, she's still steadfast, stand by your man type of thing. Good. This one's fun. This is from Mr. Dempsey. What is a crucible used for in chemistry class? Do you remember? What is a crucible used for in chemistry class? This one's for Erin. Who thought you could escape chemistry?
Really thought I was done with that.
Never done with chemistry.
It's used to heat things up. It's used to heat things up, and there's other words. That's the vaguest description I can give, but
Gotcha.
It make things warm.
Make things warm. That's for you, Debsy. This one, of course, comes from Mr. Schwartz. Does anyone have a head of cabbage on them? Oh, please, Reverend Hale, please, please go get the cabbage.
This might be lettuce. Is this lettuce?
Hold it closer. Well, it looks like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. So methinks it's cabbage. Smell it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's cabbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay! So that's for you, Mr. Schwartz. This comes from a drama student, Maddie Krupp. What was your favorite part about being in this show? So, like, that could be from rehearsal to casting to whatever.
I would say just the amount of strong personalities and the variety of characters that we had. Because I've got to play like a little girl and then Reverend Hale and then like an old man. So it was like a good variety and it was just fun to mess around with all the costumes and see what people could come up with their interpretations of those characters.
Awesome. This comes from Miss Guerin. What do you think caused the mass hysteria with these witch trials? And then also too, we talked a little bit about McCarthyism. So is it, for me, I'm going to add on and make it a 3-part question. What do you think caused the mass hysteria in the play? What do you think caused the mass hysteria in the 50s? Why people were obsessed with the fear of communism spreading? And do you think there's any mass hysteria that we could apply to today, especially amongst a pandemic, right? Has that caused a hysteria? Are we blaming each other for things? So 3-part question.
I think it sort of happened because things might not have been going well and people don't want to think it's their fault, so they need someone to blame and to be afraid of. So for this period of time, it was witchcraft. For McCarthyism, it was communist. And then now people are sort of starting to blame China for starting the whole coronavirus thing, which sort of ties into the whole blaming somebody and fearing something.
Good. And also, too, I think what prompted me was to do this play. Part of it was a Facebook post that I saw from a friend of mine that said, "Not trying to sneeze in the grocery store, otherwise let the Salem witch trials begin." Hashtag Corona. And I thought, like, oh, what an interesting premise that, like, a sneeze would constitute a witch hunt, right? I think that's really, really interesting. All right, so thanks, guys. And stay tuned, audience, for our next production. October 9th will be our 1-act competition. And go to Showtix for you. The link will be provided later. So check your email for our 1-act competition where each grade level competes against each other. All right, stay tuned. Bye!